Okay, today's. Am I audible? Tell me. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Today's class is based on foreign exchange rate. I think yesterday I posted few notes on foreign exchange rate. I think you downloaded that note from Google Classroom, isn't it? Nisha, have you got that note? Nisha,
Yes, sir.
have you got that note I posted on Google Classroom yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, I will start from the very basic because this foreign exchange rate this concept need to be clear. Because unless and until this concept is clear, it won't be possible for you to understand the entire international finance. Because basically, just like journal, as in case of BSA account, this foreign exchange rate is the basics. So unless and until you have a proper understanding, it won't be possible for you to understand later on that what is the nitty-gritty of international finance. Okay. So without wasting any further time, let us proceed. I am sharing the screen. You pay attention on the screen. Okay. So can you see the what screen? Tell me. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I write say $1 equal to say rupee 66. You tell me what type of rate it is. Is it a direct quote or an indirect quote?
Sir, direct.
Direct. Okay. Now if I write, so this is a two-way code. You agree with me or not? Two-way code or not? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So what is the bid rate and what is the ask rate? What is the bid rate in this 66 and 69? Which one is the bid rate and which one is the ask rate or offer rate? Jyoti, Poonam, Nisha, tell me which one is the offer rate and which one is the bid rate? Do you require clarification on this point or not? Tell me.
Not, sir.
So which one is the bid rate? Which one is the bid rate? Bid rate means the purchase rate and ask rate means the selling rate.
The 66.
66 is what? Bid rate or ask rate?
The big rate.
Correct. Good. And 69 is the ask rate. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then comes,
I think selling it, sir.
yes, the other name of ask rate is selling rate. The other name of ask rate is selling rate or offer rate. Please write it down. The other name of selling rate is ask rate or offer rate. And other name of bid rate is purchase rate or buying rate. Now if I write say 1 month, So you can see the screen. 1 month forward margin is there, 2 month forward margin is there. So first you tell me whether this forward margin are in premium or in discount. This forward margin, these are in premium or in discount.
The premium.
Yes, good, premium. So if I want if I want 2 month forward bid rate, what will be the rate? Tell me. 2 month forward bid rate. What will be the rate? Tell me. Yes, please tell me what will be the 2 month forward bid rate.
Sir, 0.0070.
Then concept is not clear. Basic concept is spot plus forward margin. If it is in premium, spot plus forward margin. If it is in premium, spot minus forward margin. If it is in discount, so it will be rupees, as we are calculating the bid rate, rupees 66 plus 0.0070. So it will be 66 plus 0.070. It comes
6.70.
rupees 66.007. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now, basically, before going to this, let us first recapitulate about this foreign exchange rate, and then I will again discuss. Just a minute. First, let us start from the very beginning. What is Nostro account? You tell me, Jyoti, what is Nostro account? What do you mean by the concept Nostro account? Because this thing I taught you when I started my class, isn't it? If you could remember. What is Nostro account? Because this thing will come in multiple questions. Nostro account means our account with you. Our account with you means, say suppose you are Indian bank and you have a, say, account with Bank of America. So you will use the term Nostro account because our account with Bank of America, and any foreign exchange remittance will be routed through that Bank of America. Any foreign exchange will be routed through that Bank of America. Agree with me or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Then come Vostro account. What do you mean by the term Vostro account?
Just opposite Nostro account, sir.
Yes, means foreign accounts branch account with us. Foreign account branch account with us. Say Bank of America maintain a account with Indian bank. So they will treat it as a Vostro account. And all the Indian remittance and payment will be routed through this Vostro account. Basically this Nostro and Vostro are used, Loro account is not used. Okay. Now see this foreign exchange mechanism. Everything is from the point of view of bank. What? From the point of view of bank. Whether you are purchasing and you are selling is from the point of view of bank. Okay. Now, bank will be termed as dealer. Bank will be termed as dealer. He deals with the foreign exchange. Okay. Now, there are two rates. Please write it down. There are two rates. Interbank rate, interbank rate, INTER, interbank rate. Just let me write. Then comes now what is the difference between this interbank rate and merchant rate? Nisha, you tell me. What is the difference between this interbank rate and merchant rate?
The interbank rate means one bank connected to another bank.
Yes, good. And merchant rate?
Margin rate is that everything every working process are worked in one bank only.
No, no, not correct. See, interbank rate means the rate that is kind of wholesale market. You have a concept of wholesale market and retail market, wholesale and retail. Suppose bank goes to interbank market and purchase some dollar. That will be at interbank rate. But whenever it quotes the rate to the customer, means customer like you and me, it will be called merchant rate or customer rate. And interbank rate and merchant rate will vary. Interbank rate and merchant bank rate will vary. Suppose bank, say, take the example of Indian Bank. Indian Bank purchase dollar from Bank of America. Indian Bank purchase dollar from Bank of America. Say 66 at the rate rupees 66. We are using direct quotation. And suppose you want to buy dollar from Indian Bank. Okay, means you want to buy means bank will be selling. You want to buy means bank will be selling. So at what rate bank will be selling to you? Will it be 66 or lower than 66 or more than 66? Tell me. Got my question? You purchase from interbank market rupees at dollar at the rate rupees 66. Now Jyoti, you approach Indian Bank to purchase dollar. Now at what rate Indian Bank will quote dollar to you? Will it be at 66, lower than 66 or more than 66?
Sir, I think depend in exchange rate.
No, no, concept is not because see you are finance student in every say big companies. I will say arrange interview for big companies. So if they ask you this basic question, what will happen? Means the fault will be on the teacher that the teacher failed to teach the student. Basically, it is the teacher. If I fail to teach you the thing, the onus will be on my part that I failed to say communicate the thing to you. So basically, you are purchasing at 66. You are purchasing at 66. So you need to make profit. Bank of India needs to make profit. So it won't sell to you at 66 or lower than 66. It will say, sell to you at a higher price than 66. Got my point? You are purchasing at 66. So your selling rate won't be 66. It would be higher than 66. Tell me, is this point clear to you or not? Because see, foreign exchange market is very difficult to understand. So you need to have a clear conception regarding this purchase and sale. Otherwise, the other concept you could not understand. Tell me.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Okay, Nisha.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, from interbank rate, the bank purchase or sell dollar and sell it to the customer. Okay. Suppose interbank rate is suppose again the opposite. Your Indian bank. We are taking the example of Indian bank. Interbank selling rate is 59, and you want to sell dollar to Indian bank. So at what rate Indian bank will quote dollar to you? Will it be higher than 59 or lower than 59? Just tell me.
So higher than 59.
Again, you are making a mess. You are the customer. You are the customer. You want to sell your dollar. You have a foreign exchange of dollar. You want to sell your dollar to Indian bank. Okay. And Indian bank will buy from you. Will buy from you and will sell this dollar to interbank at 59. So buy from you means it cannot sell at 50, it cannot quote you 59. So it will quote you lower than 59, because otherwise how the bank can make profit? Because it is selling at 59 to interbank rate. It is selling to interbank at 59. So the quote must be lower than 59 to you. The bank will buy at the lower rate from you and will sell at higher rate to the interbank market. Got my point? This is called foreign exchange mechanism. This is not at all easy. You need to understand the concept from the point of view of bank. Again, I am repeating. Please write down the problem so that you can understand. Please write it down. I will deal with the two situations. First, situation 1. Say Jyoti has a dollar of rupees 65. She wants to sell Jyoti has only $1. Don't write the value on $1. $1. Okay. She wants to sell this dollar. She wants to sell this dollar to Indian Bank. The interbank rate currently is rupees 59. So what will be the buying rate of Indian Bank from Jyoti? Will it be higher than 59 or lower than 59? Got it? Now Nisha, you tell me. You have understood the problem? Now you tell me.
The lower.
Good. Means bank will buy from Jyoti at lower rate and sell at 59 so that it can make the profit. The profit term is called spread. The difference between bid and ask rate is called spread. Just a minute. I am writing it. Okay. So what happens? There are two markets. Actually spot market and forward market. Spot market means the cash market that is going on where the rates are quoted right now. And forward market means suppose you have a need to purchase dollar after 3 months. So it is not necessary for you to purchase dollar right now at spot rate. Isn't it? You have a requirement of dollar after 3 months. So it will be unnecessary for you to buy the dollar right now. Do you agree with me or not? Tell me. Jyoti or Nisha, tell me. Suppose you have a need of dollar after 3 months. So what you will do? You will buy right now or after 3 months? You have a requirement of dollar after 3 months. So what you will do? You will buy the dollar right now or after 3 months?
So right now.
No, no, not right now. After 3 months. You have the requirement for dollar after 3 months. So you will buy after 3 months. But at that time, the rate will fluctuate. At that time, the rate will fluctuate. Say, suppose the spot rate is now 66. It won't be 66. It will be lower than 66 or higher than 66. Okay. So, to hedge means to minimize, just the term hedge. Hedge means to minimize loss. To minimize loss. To hedge this thing, you buy a forward contract from bank. And suppose you agree to buy this dollar at the rate 69. You agree to buy the dollar at the rate 69. So whatever may be the situation, say even if there is a war or any unnatural thing happens, bank is bound to sell this dollar to you at 69. This is called forward contract. This contract is called, just a minute, forward contract. Means by this contract, bank is bound to sell me this dollar at the rate 69. Got my point? Means I am determining the rate in advance. Means I require the rate after 3 months, but the rate has been determined just now by entering into a forward contract with Indian Bank. And the rate has been agreed at rupees 69. Got it? This is called the concept of forward contract. Means you are entering into a contract right now to determine the price after 3 months or after 4 months. You can see I just here I have written 1 month forward margin, 2 month forward margin, 2 month forward bid rate means 2 month forward rate means this will be the bid rate after 2 months means after say when you reach this 2 months you will have to pay the bid rate that is 66.007 and whatever may be the situation bank is bound to sell to you dollar at this 66.007. Just a minute, I have not presented this. Just a minute. See? Now can you see the screen? Tell me. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now this is called 2 months forward bid rate. 2 months forward bid rate. So it is, you can see it is not 66 but it is 66.007. So whatever may be the situation, bank is bound to sell to you at the rate 66.007. And how I am determining this rate? By entering into a forward contract with bank right now. Got my point? Jyoti and Poonam and Nisha, tell me, have you understood the concept or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then comes say if this is say now you please tell me whether the currency are in premium or discount. Whether the currency in premium or discount. Say if I need to compute this 2 month forward bid rate, how to compute this 2 month forward bid rate? First you tell me whether this margin are in discount or in premium.
Sir, premium.
You see from 45 it has been decreased to 35. From 70 to it has decreased to 60. So how you can say that it is in premium? You can see it is decreasing. If it had increased, you can you can use the term premium. But since it has decreased, you have to use the term discount. And what I told you, premium need to be added and discount need to be deducted, isn't it? Tell me. So from 66
66 minus
point
0.35. No, sorry,
point
sir.
0070.
60.
Bid discount should be deducted from bid rate and ask discount should be deducted from ask rate. Okay.
Okay.
So 66. Just a minute. This yes. Bid rate is 66 minus 0.0070. So it will be rupees 65.993. So you have understood the concept of premium and discount, isn't it? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
So far I have discussed this interbank rate and merchant rate, and I have also discussed this forward margin concept with premium and discount. Have you understood this or not? Tell me. Please give me the feedback
Yes,
whether you have understood it or not. Is it okay? Tell me. Jyoti?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now we'll enter into another concept called, please write, appreciation and depreciation of currency. Appreciation and depreciation of currency. Say I am writing dollar 1 equal to rupees, say 60. Okay. Then I write dollar 1 has appreciated by 10%. If I write this dollar 1 has appreciated by 10%, then what will be the dollar rate? You tell me. Here dollar is the commodity. It is a direct quote. Dollar is the commodity and current value is 60, and it has appreciated by 10%. So what will be the new value of dollar? You tell me. Jyoti,
Yes, sir.
dollar 1 has appreciated by 10%. So what will be the value of dollar? You tell me.
66.
Yes. So dollar 1 equal to rupees 60 into 60 into into 10% equal to rupees 66. Now you tell me, if dollar has appreciated, then whether rupee has appreciated or rupee has depreciated. Because see, these are the concepts they will ask a
Sir,
big.
rupees is appreciated.
No, because these are the concepts they will ask in big companies like KPMG and PwC. If they say grill you for 1 hour for interview, dollar has appreciated means now $1 would cost you 66, but in terms of rupees, you need to pay more or not, because previously you could purchase the dollar at 60, but for $1 you now need to pay 66. So rupees has depreciated or appreciated? You tell me. Think carefully. Previously, only rupees 60 was required to purchase $1. Now you have to pay 66 to purchase $1. Means you are paying more. You are paying more right now. So your rupee value has depreciated. Your rupee value has depreciated. Have you understood the concept or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Now, how to get the, say, if I say dollar 1 has appreciated by 10%, I can get this value rupees 66. But if I say rupees has appreciated by rupees, sorry, by 10%, then here the mechanism will be just like this. Rupees 60. Now, if the quote is direct, please listen to me carefully. If the quote is direct quote and if dollar is appreciating, just multiply this 10% with the rupee value to get the appreciation. But if rupees has appreciated, means dollar has not appreciated. So the mechanism is that you need to multiply 60 divided by 0.10. 10 divided by 100. So 60 divided by 0.10. It will be 60 divided by 10%. 60 divided by 10.
Sir, 600.
No. 60 divided by 10%. Just a minute. Oh, sorry. It will be just a minute. So, not like this. It will be 110. Say appreciated by 110. So make it 110%. So 60 divided by 110%. It comes to 54.545. Got it? Means it has appreciated by 10%, means 110. It will be 110. Or again, basically the same thing. Anyway, divided by 110, appreciated means previously it has a value of 100, now it has appreciated to 10%. So 60 divided by 110 will give you 54.545. So $1 would cost now rupees 54.545. Means previously you need to purchase $1 for rupees 60. You need to purchase $1 for 60. But now you need to purchase $1 for 54. Means the same dollar you are getting at the rate rupees 54. So the rupees value has increased or not? Tell me. Hello? Jyoti Poonam, tell me.
Sir, rupees value increase.
Rupees value has increased. So you are getting the same dollar at lower rupee, means you are paying less rupees to get the same dollar, so rupees value has increased. Okay, so this is the appreciation of rupees. Now say, suppose dollar depreciate by 10%. So it will be $1 equal to, say, same example, rupees 60 into 90%. Means because 10% means 90%. So it will be 60 into 90, 54 rupees 54. Then say I write, suppose rupees depreciate by 10%. So it will be dollar one equal to rupees 60 divided by 90 percent, 90 percentage. So it will be 60 divided by 0.90 rupees 66.6667. So these are the concept of appreciation and depreciation of rupees and dollar. Please tell me whether you have understood it or not. Tell me. Jyoti, Poonam and Nisha, tell me. If not, then which point you require some clarification? Tell me. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Which point is not clear to you and for which point you require clarification? Tell me. Jyoti, Poonam and Nisha, tell me which point you require clarification. Because these points are required for examination and also for your interview, because they will ask you the appreciation and depreciation of rupees or dollar. Do
Sir,
you?
how the
Yes, tell me. Yes.
how the dollar amount will decreases and how the rupees amount will increases.
Okay, let us recapitulate from the very first. Okay, say dollar, just a minute. Dollar one has appreciated by 10%. Please listen to me carefully. Please listen to me carefully. Dollar one has appreciated by 10%. Here it is a direct quote. You agree with me or not? Tell me. Agree with me or not?
Yes, sir.
And it increases by 10% or 110%. Basically, you better write 110%. So 60 into 110 will give you 66 rupees 66. Now $1, see from the term of dollar, $1 was required to buy rupees. Now $1 value previously was 60, now it is 66. It was 60, now it is 66. So dollar value has appreciated. Now think from the view of rupees. Previously you need to pay only 60 rupees to get $1. But now you need to pay 60 rupees 66 to get the same dollar. So rupee value has depreciated in terms of dollar and dollar value has appreciated in terms of rupees. Is it clear or not? Tell me. Because the concept is not at all easy. If you like, I will repeat as many times as you like. These are the things that I am discussing. These are all practical examples. Tell me. Is this example clear to you or not? Tell me first.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then rupee has appreciated by 10%. So if rupee has appreciated and rupee and the currency is a direct quotation and it is not expressed in terms of rupees. So first you need to see in what currency the quotation is given. If it is given in dollar, then we would have multiplied this 60 with 10% to get the dollar appreciation. But here dollar is not appreciating, but rupee is appreciating. What is appreciating? So rupee is appreciating. So you need to make this formula like dollar into 110 equal to 60 or 60 equal to 110 to get the value of rupees. Or you can simply remember one thing, if the other currency is appreciating or depreciating, divide that other currency by the appreciation or depreciation. Means I had shown you that how to, what is the logic behind this division, but otherwise you could have done 60 divided by 110, just to load that thing and just write 60 divided by 110 to get this 54.545. Now same dollar you need to purchase at 60 rupees previously, but same dollar is available at 54. So rupee value has appreciated or depreciated? Tell me. Jyoti,
Sir, rupees value appreciated.
good, good, excellent. Then dollar depreciate by 10%. So simply take 10%, means 10% means the from 100 we will take the base 100. So from 100 we will deduct 10% means 90%. Its value is 90%. So dollar value is 54. Means previously it was 60. Now it has come to 54. Means dollar has depreciated, but rupee, if you take this example, rupee has appreciated. Now same, rupee depreciate by 10%. Rupee depreciate by 10%. So simply divide 60 divided by 90%. So rupee value is 66.6667. Means previously the rupee was available at 60, but it is now available at 66.6667. Means rupee's value has come down, and so you need to pay more rupee to get this same dollar. This is the conception of appreciation and depreciation of currency. So you please tell me whether you have understood this concept or not. Jyoti, Poonam and Nisha, tell me whether you have understood this concept or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this is basically the concept I discussed regarding the appreciation and depreciation of rupees or dollar. So to sum up, today we discussed the margin rate as well as the interbank rate, the margin, forward margin, and the nitty-gritty of forward contract, and whether the margin are in discount or in premium, and also we discussed the appreciation and depreciation of rupees and dollar. So this is the in nutshell the total discussion of today's lecture. Any question regarding these points or the points which are not clear to you? Feel free to ask me. Any question you need to ask? Just go through the notes which I shared. So basically, tomorrow I have class with you. You do one thing, the notes which I posted on Google Classroom, you download those notes and you just go through those notes. Because tomorrow I will discuss with you calligraphy, that is TT buying rate, TT buying rate, TT selling rate, bill buying rate and bill selling rate. Okay. So that's all for today. Have a nice day. Thanks for joining my class. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.